Mario Kart Double Dash is the latest entry in Nintendo's long-running Mario Kart franchise. The series made a big splash on the 16-bit Super Nintendo because it was probably one of the best multiplayer experiences on that console. The update for the N64 didn't quite go down as well with fans, mainly because there were a few issues that people weren't very happy with. Mario Kart Double Dash kind of aims to right those wrongs, and I think for the most part, based on what we've played so far, it seems to be doing okay. There have been quite a few changes in this year's version of Mario Kart. The most obvious one are the graphics, which have received a brand spanking new GameCube makeover. You're going to find that Mario and his friends have never looked better, and that the game has never moved better. The frame rate is nice and stable. There's a really good sense of speed when you get up to the higher engine levels. The environments are not really huge, but they're of a good size, and they have a lot of nice detail in them. Little things that you may catch out of the corner of your eye. Now, much like the visuals, Mario Kart Double Dash's gameplay has received a bit of an overhaul as well. There have been quite a few changes, actually. The most notable one is the addition of a second character in the car with you. You're now going to be able to swap in between the characters on the fly with the Z button, whereas previously the statistics in terms of the handling and acceleration and things like that were sort of tied to the character. In Mario Kart Double Dash, these are actually tied to the cart, because you're going to find that when you start a game, you're going to pick two characters, and you're also going to have to pick a cart. Now, the characters don't really have a tremendous impact on the racing experience. The characters come into play in a different way. They're going to be broken up into different sizes. You're going to have small, medium, and like large characters. The small characters being like the babies, and the large characters being like Bowser. Those characters will then be able to, based on their size, pick certain carts. Where that comes into play is that the smaller carts have better acceleration, maybe not best top speed, whereas the medium carts are better rounded and have pretty much equal top speed and acceleration, and the large carts obviously are faster but much slower to take off. So the characters don't have a whole lot of impact on racing and driving. Where they do come into play is during combat. What you're going to find this time out is that each character is going to have a unique special move. It's something that you're going to collect as you go through the item boxes while you're racing. And each character will have a unique special move that only they'll be able to perform. So the key actually to victory is going to be finding the right mix of characters in the right cart, because it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to have like two characters with the same special ability. You're probably better served in making sure that you have two characters with complementary special abilities in a good cart, because that way you'll have the best of both worlds. In the single-player game, you're going to find pretty much the standard stuff, a Grand Prix and a time trial mode. But you'll also be able to play with up to 4 other players on one GameCube, and actually up to 16 on multiple GameCubes with a LAN in the multiplayer option. The multiplayer mode is going to give you basically 3 options: Grand Prix, Versus, and Battle. Grand Prix and Versus are pretty obvious. You'll have the option of working with or against another player. You can actually form a team and sort of share control of the different characters. You'll have, somebody will be Mario and somebody will be Luigi, for example. It's more than just sort of one person's in control of their character. You're actually going to have to do a lot of cooperative gameplay, in that when you both want to switch, you have to hit the Z button at the same time. When you're power sliding, the driver, or like player 1, initiates the power slide, but it's up to player 2 to build up the controller motions to get the boost. You're basically having to make sure that you play with your friend as opposed to against them in your team, which is kind of a nice cooperative thing to throw in. The battle mode is as fun as ever. You're going to find 3 games to play: Shine Thief, Bob-omb Blast, and Balloon Battle. Anybody that's played previous Mario Kart should be pretty familiar with the balloon game, but Bob-omb Blast and Shine Thief are a little different, and they're welcome additions to sort of the multiplayer landscape in Mario Kart. Bob-omb Blast is sort of this insane fight where you're just throwing bombs everywhere, and the intention is to blow up your opponents a certain amount of times. Shine Thief is basically keep away. You're supposed to hang on to a shine for as long as you possibly can while everybody else tries to take it from you. And whoever has held onto the shine for the most amount of time at the end of the game wins. So based on what we've played, Mario Kart Double Dash seems to be pretty pretty good. There's certainly a lot to kind of explore in the game and get a handle on. We've only recently just got our copy, so we haven't gone through it completely. But we're liking what we're seeing. Our only concern is maybe there's not enough new stuff going on. And so right now we're definitely in the process of going through our checklist, and right now this Mario Kart game seems to have everything that we'd expect out of it. Mario Kart Double Dash is currently slated to ship next week for the Gamecube. Look for a review very soon.